Would it be an episode of Ethan's Wildlife without some nocturnal animals? Immediately, here we find a common brush-tail possum. You can identify it as a common brush-tail possum by the large pointed ears. This is probably the most common mammal in the Brisbane CBD. They're arboreal marsupials, and they'll eat just about anything, including fruit, leaves, and even small animals. This guy is a brown huntsman spider. They're quite common around these parts, and they don't spin webs, they actually chase down their prey. This looks like a good spot for frogs, and I can already hear some going off. I'm quite excited. Let's have a look. This is an eastern stony creek frog, and this is the male. The males, as you can see, are bright yellow. The females are quite a drab brown, and these guys are quite common around rocky creeks, like this one. Oh yes, a tusked frog. This has been my white whale for a while. These guys are amazing frogs. The males are called tusked frogs because they actually have two pseudo-teeth. Frogs don't actually have teeth, but these guys have tusk-like appendages. Aren't they beautiful? Here's another male eastern stony creek frog, just chilling on the rock. Aren't they an amazing colour? They're much smaller than the female. Speaking of the female, here she is. Isn't she beautiful? You can see the yellow and black marbling that they have on their legs. You can really see here how close Mount Coot-Tha is to the CBD. You can actually see the city lights from here. It's amazing that so much wildlife lives here. And here is a long-nosed bandicoot. Someone who's featured in a previous episode of Ethan's Wildlife. You can tell them apart from the northern brown bandicoot by their pointed ears. They're an omnivorous marsupial, and he'll run around in the long grass and the leaf litter looking for things like little bugs, roots, fallen fruit, and just about anything he can get. Like all marsupials, they have a pouch, and they can actually give birth to young after a gestation of just 12 days. Isn't that incredible? They're a remarkable animal. You see that really, really long nose that they're named after? This nose is used to sniff out food underneath all the leaf litter and soil. They're really, really cool animals. This is a tawny frogmouth. They're often mistaken for an owl, but it's actually not an owl. They're actually more closely related to nightjars. Aren't they a beautiful animal, perfectly camouflaged onto the wood during the middle of the day? They're nocturnal carnivores, but unlike the raptors, they lack talons. And here we have a black flying fox. Quite a common bat that you can find around Brisbane. Oh look, and he's taking a poo. That's actually great because the poo of the flying foxes is used to spread seeds around the forest. Alright, so now we're here for our daytime segment. This is going to be a good day, I reckon. Let's see what we can find. And here is another eastern water dragon. This one is only a juvenile and he's much, much smaller. And he doesn't have as defined a crest yet, but if it grows to adulthood, it'll grow quite large and have that very definitive crest. And here we have our first elegant snake-eyed skink of the walk. These guys like to hang out around the rocks and fallen branches and bask. They're very active insectivores. Here's another angle of the same guy. You can see his very striking stripes that are down his back here. And here's yet another elegant snake-eyed skink. This guy was a lot more active. He was jumping around, looking for insects, trying to hide from me. What a beauty. This is an eastern striped skink. They're medium-sized, quite robustly built. They've got quite a distinct stripe pattern, some spots around the midsection as you can see here. This plant here is the rosary pea. I just wanted to point it out because this plant is actually highly toxic. It's actually one of the most poisonous plants in the world, and it's native to this part of Australia. And so that concludes this episode of Ethan's Wildlife. Took a bit longer to get this one out. I was a bit busy last week, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Found a few cool reptiles, some cool mammals and amphibians as well. And we're going to be going now. I will see you in the next episode, which should be out sooner than this last one.